guys, Amanda here from Test Equipment Depot. Today I'm here with Frank Healy, who's going to walk us through the Fluke 437 400Hz Power Quality Analyzer. Hi Frank.
Hi.
So what makes the 437 different from the other products in the 430 series?
So you mentioned in the title, the Fluke 437 can also measure at 400 Hz, as well as 50 and 60 Hz. So this is really important for loads that are in places like airplanes and also on ships. So it measures all of the usual power quality parameters, but at the extended frequency.
So why would people need that?
Well, those 400 Hz loads, they're different from the typical 50-60 Hz loads. So these are for pieces of equipment which are very specialised. As I mentioned, on airplanes, that's the frequency that they tend to use.
Why do they use that frequency?
Well, it allows the equipment to be lighter and smaller, and obviously in that location, it's quite tight for space. Yeah.
And you mentioned ships.
Yeah, on ships they have a different standard because a ship doesn't have a fixed power system. It's basically inside the ship. So they have a different standard which defines exactly how the voltage and current and power should be measured and what are important for those kinds of loads on board a ship.
So what are these standards for ships?
Well, the main standard is a military standard, which is Mil Standard 1399, and this defines exactly what is allowable when you have onboard power on a ship. Because you don't have a fixed network, it's possible that the voltage and current will modulate and go too high for the equipment which is inside the ship and possibly damage it.
So what are the measurements that are important for ships?
Well, the voltage tolerances are different from what you find on a ground power system. Also, the current imbalance and voltage imbalance is a different level as well. So we can't just use the standard 10 plus minus 10% that we might have on a ground-based system. That's all built into the standard.
If I measure the electrical power on a ship, what does this really do for me?
It provides the results exactly according to the standard, so you don't have to do any extra work. The way that we measure is all built into the instrument, so the user just has to connect up and they get the results exactly as they want to see them.
You mentioned aircraft earlier. What kind of measurements do those people make?
They make the same kind of measurements as you would do on any electrical system, but the important thing is that they have these higher frequency pieces of equipment at 400 Hz. And the key part when the aircraft is in flight, 400 Hz is all handled by the aircraft itself. But when you come to the ground, there's a crossover point where the power system from the ground has to power the aircraft. So for example, if you come in on a flight and when you get to the gate, then they connect the power up from the ground so that they can turn the engines off on the aircraft. And that's one of the critical times when faults can happen and the aircraft electrical system can be damaged.
So who would find it useful to be able to measure on aircraft systems?
Obviously the aircraft manufacturers, but also the people who supply the ground power systems, and also airports who have the responsibility of connecting those ground power systems to the aircraft when it comes in.
Thanks again, Frank, for coming all the way from England to join us today. And for more information on the Fluke 437 400Hz Power Quality Analyzer, click on the link below. Thanks for watching another video from Test Equipment Depot.